button now. And then just for our guests that are in attendance, you're welcome to participate. And if you would like to make a comment or ask a question, use the raise a hand function in Zoom, and we will unmute your microphone so that you can talk. Or you are welcome to also ask a question or make a comment in the chat feature at the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, let me go on. No, the other thing I was going to mention is elections are about the last thing on the agenda, but some of these things that are in between, you know, like land use things, there's really nothing this time. So I expect to get there fairly fast. So there's a lot of slack in the agenda. The community policing update, did you arrange that, Lanny? Lanny?
Yeah, they were invited. I'm not sure though if they're gonna make it.
Okay,
So,
well, they're not here yet.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the THPRD update. I know Catherine's here, so why don't we go on to that?
Hi everyone. Okay, so my name is Cathi Ellis and I am the center supervisor for the Conestoga Recreation and Aquatic Center, which is right in the Greenway neighborhood. So I'm very happy to be here with you all. We also have with us Wendy Kroger, who is one of our board of directors. So Wendy will pop in as she would like to, but I have a bunch of things to share with you all today. Some of it is a little outdated as of Wednesday when we went into our COVID freeze, but we wanted to let everybody know that Tualatin Hills does have our out of school program running, and we also have some preschool programs running. So there are select facilities that, even though our drop-in programs, which before Wednesday consisted of workout rooms, lap swimming, fitness classes, those have all been temporarily put on pause with the Washington County freeze, or the whole state's freeze the governor put us on. But some of our facilities are still offering the out of school program for parents who are working, and we're doing that in connection with the Beaverton School District as well. So we do still have some kids here with us, and I'm still here at my center as well, which is why I have the mask on today. But we wanted to let everybody know that our financial aid program is still up and running, and that we are currently offering funds through the Beaverton School District to some of those families that we're serving in our out of school program as well. So we're very happy to be partnering with them in that way. Some of the things that are closer to home that I wanted to share was some trail updates. So for those of you who enjoy the Fano Creek Greenway north of Hall, so the section that's goes on to Denny, that was closed for a while due to some habitat restoration. But we are very happy to announce to you all that it's now open. The stream has actually been redesigned, and that was all funded through a partnership with Metro. And we've also worked with Clean Water Services. They're gonna help us to do some replanting very soon. But there is now a trail in that section over where some culverts used to be. So if you're someone who enjoys that section of the Fano Creek Trail, again, that's north from Hall up to Denny, it is now open. So that's very exciting. The other things we wanted to share that you might be seeing out in the trails, since we do want people to get out and enjoy as much as they can during this freeze. Our maintenance guys will be out there. They're starting to do some tree management with the hot and dry summers, and especially the recent windstorms. You may see some extra attention being paid to some of the limbs around. So just be aware of that and know that that is what's happening and why some of those trees are getting some extra loves in our parks. The other thing we wanted to share was an update on our talking walls. So for those of you who didn't know, Tualatin Hills was very excited to bring some talking walls to the Sunset High School back in October. And if I could take a step back, for those of you who don't know what a talking wall is, it was kind of a form of expression and visual storytelling about socially relevant themes, and it's done through different murals that we are bringing to parks and areas at Tualatin Hills. So Greenway Park, we are very excited to announce, is going to be receiving 3 of these murals. They're going to be installed on the walls of the pavilion shelter that sits on the corner of Parkview Loop and Greenway Boulevard. It's the pavilion that sits right next door to the Greenway Elementary School. So that was supposed to happen this past Sunday, which was the 15th, but of course, due to that COVID freeze, it was put on pause. And right now we have very loosely rescheduled it for March of 2021. But in the chat, I'm going to put the link to more information about that talking wall and the ones that are specifically going to happen at Greenway. We were hoping to do it during November to help celebrate the Native American Heritage Month. And the very exciting thing when we do get it going again is it will be done in partnership with the Native American Youth and Family Center. And it's actually 3 young Native American artists who submitted the renderings of what these murals are going to be. So we're very excited to be bringing that to the Greenway area, and definitely there will be more information brought to this NAC because it is something that we want the community to get out and be involved in as well. So that's about all of the updates that I have today. I'll let Wendy jump in if there's anything specifically that she wants to share, and I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much, Cathi. No, that's fine. I just had a couple of additions. One I wanted to ask, and help me out with the dates. I believe that people can buy gift cards for families in need at Christmas time, and they can bring them to the centers. Is that correct? And you can get them, you know, it could be Fred Meyer, it could be Weimar, it can be whatever, but it's for families, and we partner with the Beaverton School District so that we get the kids most in need, and the schools identify who can benefit from those gift cards. And so we're making them available through the centers. And is it December 15th? Is that the deadline? I'm not sure. Maybe it's sooner than that.
I believe it might be December 18th, but again, I'll put that information in the chat. I'll look it up real quick and place it in the chat for everybody.
Okay, perfect. Just in case anybody is looking for something local to do to help, that would be really cool. Lonnie, did you have a question or?
Well, I noticed a question from the audience, so I just want to make sure we get that asked.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
it looks like Julie was asking about the gate that goes from Greenway into the elementary school for easier access to the playground. And the truth of the matter is the Beaverton school districts are considered closed campuses right now due to COVID. And so we have promised kind of each other that we were going to keep that access between the 2 properties closed. Even though we are great partners with each other, it's not necessarily Tualatin Hills property that we can be allowing that gate to be open and for that free flow to be going back and forth. But Julie, I could definitely, if you wanted to put your information in the chat, I could reach out to you personally if you wanted to, and we could discuss that more.
Okay, any more questions for Catherine? Wait, well, thank you very much, Catherine.
All right, thank you.
And here, I think, I assume that you're going to do the city update, Lanny?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give the update. I'm Lanny Parr from the Public Engagement Division at the City of Beaverton. And we just have a few items to give you an update on. One is the never-ending changing COVID information and update of our remote, virtual, and on-site services. So we really just want to make it a one-stop shop for you to check out the latest information. If you go to our beavertonoregon.gov coronavirus, that will have all the latest details of our remote services and everything that you need to know about the hours, if something's open, or how to make appointments. And we also have information about, like right now, City Hall is closed through December 31st, but you know, that will be, all of that information will be continuously updated. And I also wanted to just note that in-person visits for passports are still available by appointment, as well as some court and library services with safe distancing and other safeguards in place. So we definitely don't have a one-size-fits-all approach, and so we definitely want to just try to take some of the mystery out. And so that's your I'll put this in the chat, the website for you to check out to get the latest information. And then I think just a few reminders that we just try to reiterate wherever we go to give COVID updates is to make sure you're wearing your face covering when you're in indoor public spaces and outdoors when 6 feet of distance isn't maintained to help limit the spread, as well as recommending getting a flu shot. And stay home and wash your hands often. And of course, you know, now that we have the freeze in place, you know, our information is even a little bit outdated as, you know, we're staying home in Washington County for 2 weeks. A couple other websites where you can get more details on this is the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the Oregon Health Authority, as well as Washington County's Health Public Division and the 211. So just some additional resources to go to. And then the next item is our ever popular library continues. We're continuing our Bcl To Go program. And this is where you can go to the library to either go to the walk up at both locations or the drive up at the main library to get your library items. You can make your library appointments for your Bcl To Go appointments, and I'll put the website address in the chat as well, but it's beavertonlibrary.org at Bcl To Go. And we do have book drops at both the main library and also at the Murray Shoals branch for returns. And then a really cool new addition is at the computer lab at the main library, which is Tuesdays from 10 to 2 and Wednesdays from 3 to 7. They offer wireless printing. And so that's just another service that might be helpful for some folks. And then the last item is just wanting to get the word out that there's utility bill assistance available for qualified Washington County residents that are impacted by COVID-19. And so Beaverton residents can get easy help paying for water, sewer, waste collection, and other utility balances from March 1st through December 30th. And then there's also assistance available in partnership with the Washington County Community Action and local cities and utilities. And you can go to this website, caowash.org, to get started, and it will walk you through what services are available and the funding. And then lastly, there's housing and emergency rent assistance available. Nearly $700,000 has already been deployed through our partner agencies, with another $300,000 remaining available for low-income renters. And that information's on our website at beavertonoregon.gov housing. So I'll put out, again, all those links into our chat, but just some of the information that we think is on people's minds that we hope is helpful. And I'm also happy to answer any other questions you might have.
I had a question. Is the rent assistance something they have to pay back? Is it a loan or a grant, or what exactly is it?
Yeah, I don't believe you have to pay it back, but I do think it goes quickly.
Well, I imagine it does, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but you know.
Yeah.
I have some friends that are in that category, right? And then this coronavirus has been pretty tough on some people that are laid off. It's going to get worse after unemployment runs out. So we'll see.
Definitely.
Okay, any other questions for Lanny? Anything about the city? She's the one most likely to have the answer. Okay, let me see what we got next. I think we're going to go into the Oregon 217 project. It looks like the community police are not going to show up. So let's just go into that. Well, yeah, let's just go into that and get that out of the way. You got plenty of time. And
all right, well,
there you are.
Here I am. Thanks for having us. I am Lily Boycourt with ODOT Community Affairs, and I'm here with Kelly Martin, who is the project manager with ODOT for the upcoming Highway 217 Auxiliary Lane project. And we wanted to give you a brief update on what the project is, because I don't think we've visited you before, and you might have seen some information come out from us, but it's always good to discuss it in person. And then let you know about some of the new information we have, and then also that we just today launched an online open house, and I'll get you that information if you want to take a look at that as well. But this 217 project, Kelly will go into it in a little more detail, but we are just in the final stages, in the final months of design, and we will be starting construction at the end of 2021. And it'll be about 4 years of construction to build this project that will improve safety and help reduce all the merging conflicts that we see on the highway, and make the highway run a lot smoother, a lot more efficiently, and it'll be a lot safer. So there's a lot of components to the project, and I'll turn it over to Kelly to talk you through it, and then we can take questions.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. So just to give you some of the overview of the 217 project, the purpose of the project is to improve safety and help prevent bottlenecks on the 217 highway between Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway and Oregon 99W by adding auxiliary lanes. Currently, there are 10 interchanges in just over 7 miles, and these short merging distances that also have really high traffic volume in the area leads to merging conflict and high crash rates and travel delays. So the scheduled construction, as Lily said, is to begin in late 2021, and it'll continue for about 4 years. There's going to be several different phases, and so different parts of the highway will be under construction at different times. The total cost of this project is about $134 million. It's funded mostly by the Keep Oregon Moving project. However, there is partnership money from the city of Beaverton and Washington County to help with some additional bike ped improvements that we are making. And then there's also some statewide bridge money to do some bridge improvements that need to be done in the same area. We figured it was better to do it all as one large project instead of having multiple contractors in at the same time who maybe wouldn't necessarily coordinate as well as one doing everything. So the project is to install auxiliary lanes both in the northbound and southbound directions. This will help reduce the bottlenecks and give drivers more space and time to merge safely. The southbound auxiliary lane is going to start at the Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway and run down to Oregon 99W. And then the northbound auxiliary lane will connect from 99W up to Greenberg Road. And then there will be a second auxiliary lane that will continue to the Shoals. And then there will be closures, which include 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week single lane closures and full one-way directional closures. And those are probably the most impactful closures that we will be having, and we can get into more detail if you want information. Allen and Denny up in the Beaverton area between Allen and Denny, southbound on-ramp for Denny Road and the southbound off-ramp for, the Allen Boulevard on-ramp and the southbound Denny Road off-ramp are both going to be removed and replaced with a southbound 2-lane frontage road, very similar to what is between Highway 8 and Highway 10 right now, where you come off the freeway and you can connect to the other on the frontage road. And then Denny Road's southbound on-ramp will be widened so that it'll have more queuing space, more capacity for cars getting onto the highway. There's going to be up to a 5-month closure of the southbound Denny Road off-ramp and southbound Denny Road on-ramp before the new frontage road is open and able to move traffic. Bike and ped improvements include widening the sidewalk on the north side of Denny Road between the Fano Creek Trail. So City of Beaverton has already done a portion of widening to the west of the Fano Creek Trail. So we're going to take it from where they stopped and go to the east side of 217. And I'm sorry, my cat is going to join us, to Southwest 105th is where it's going to go. And then we're extending Fano Creek Trail along the east side of 217 from where it currently stops. We're Tualatin Hills Parks and Rec have the bike path that goes from 105th up, and then it heads out to the right direction, heads east. We're going to continue it north up to Allen Boulevard, and that is in conjunction with the city of Beaverton. We're going to be adding a new sidewalk on the bridge, the Northern Hall Boulevard structure. I am sorry, my cat likes to sit on the computer. On the Northern Hall Boulevard overcrossing between Cascade Avenue and Shoals Ferry Road, we're going to be widening the road to allow for a sidewalk on the north side as you go over the overpass. Currently, there is no sidewalk there. And then also to put in the bike lanes in both directions. Currently, the bike lanes come up to the bridge structure and then stop, and then people have to go into the traffic lanes to ride their bike across. And so we're going to be adding a bike lane on both sides of the bridge. So that is a major bike ped improvement in the area. And then we're in the Southern Hall Boulevard overpass, which is between Faffel and 99W, and will also include wider sidewalks and bike lanes. Okay, the Southern Hall Boulevard overpass will be replaced. We're going to have to remove the existing structure and replace it with a new structure. The vehicle lanes in both directions will be closed for up to 6 months. Bike ped access will be open throughout the construction. We are going to be putting in a temporary bike ped bridge across 217 so that access will be maintained during the construction. And the new overpass will be earthquake resilient, ADA compliant, and have wider sidewalks and bike lanes. Additional elements, we're doing some additional safety elements on Shoals Ferry Road, Allen Boulevard, and Denny Road. The overpasses over 217. We're doing new bridge deck overlays. We're adding protective screening and improving the bridge railing. We're adding 4 sound walls, and those were voted on in 2019 by the impacted residents. And then all detour routes will be established in partnership with the local jurisdictions. So we have been having conversations with local jurisdictions to make sure that we're doing the best detour routes possible, but also working with them to coordinate other projects that they're doing so that we're not detouring our traffic onto their detoured traffic. So we are trying to do coordination between multiple different agencies. And right now we have the online open house. It opened yesterday. It is available, and Lily just put the address in the chat. And you can send questions and comments to Lily, and her contact information. Are you putting your contact information in?
Yes.
As well? Okay, so so Lily will be putting her contact information in. You can contact Lily directly, and she will get you answers to your questions if we have answers. The design will be finalized in the spring of 2021, and we hope to have the construction contractor selected and on board by the fall of 2021, which will allow us to start at the end of 2021 with construction. Any questions? I know I went through that fast and that was a lot of information.
No questions, but a comment. I love your cat. He's adorable.
Thank you. She sometimes is very persistent that she wants to be in the middle, front and center.
Very
Yeah.
cute.
I have a question. Basically, the southern overpass, when you close it, that basically closes Hall Boulevard there, right?
Yes, we will be closing Hall Boulevard at Pfaffel. And
And there's really no good alternate if you go up to the next street, is where everybody goes to Costco, more or less. So it could make sort of
yes,
a traffic mess for.
we've been having a lot of conversations about that, but there's really, I mean, we have to replace the bridge. There is no way around that. So we are going to maintain the bike and pedestrian access by building a temporary bridge structure across the highway to allow bikes and peds to continue across, but we will not be putting in a temporary vehicle bridge.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm still in favor of the project because the auxiliary lanes they added on I-5 south where 217 comes in seem to really work well. I mean,
Yes.
much easier to get from 217 to I-5, and if you do it right, you don't even need to change lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I can say the 205, because the ones I've been impacted by are the 205 auxiliary lanes we put in right around the same time the I-5 ones went in. And they've made a huge difference in the way traffic flows in that area.
Kelly, this is Wendy, and I just had first of all, I wanted to thank you very much for keeping the bike ped connections. Those are really important to people who need them, so I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I also appreciate the fact that you guys have been working with THPRD, because we do obviously have Fennel Creek Trail in that area, and we want to make sure that we have a seamless connection to that. My third question is more of a personal one, since I live relatively close. What do you expect to be the nighttime hours of construction? Because of noise is what I'm looking at.
So now I'm going to tell you, I honestly do not know exactly what the permitting requirements are. I know that I have a permit specialist who works on those. But we do comply with the permitting requirements from the city. We will have to do most of our work at night because this is such a heavy such a heavy volume freeway that it's extremely impactful when we do work during the day.
I know there's no real easy answer, but I just thought, you know, pounding in stuff at 2 a.m. is kind of hard to sleep through. So I just thought I'd ask.
And honestly, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen when or where. We'll have better ideas as far as the timing of like different elements in different locations. We're not going to be in front of your house for 4 years straight. I can tell you that much.
During the day is okay. Just no, thank you.
So, and we are working to figure out how we can do this as quickly. I mean, we are looking at full closures of the highway so that, like for paving, we can get in and out in like 2 weekends in the northbound direction and 3 weekends in the southbound direction, versus you having probably 2 months of us out there every night. So we're looking at where we can make it less impactful to you. However, I can't promise you there won't be impacts. Any other questions?
no more questions? Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming. And
You're
I think
welcome.
most of us got an email about your online open house today, or at least I did. And I assume it's because I'm on a mailing list.
Mhm. Yeah, I put you on that, Jim.
Oh,
I
you
added
put me
you.
on it? Okay, now everybody.
Yeah.
Well, maybe make sure, Lanny, that everybody on our NAC gets a copy of it. We have a mailing list of a couple hundred, or just the invitation to it, right? To go to the open house.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you so much for having us. And we're here for questions, and the link is there. There's a video. You'll see me and Kelly in the video. Just kind of getting a chance to meet some others that are, you know, taking part in the project. So yeah, we're in for the long haul here. So I'm sure that once we go to construction, we're happy to come back and talk a little bit more about, you know, what to expect over the coming months. So we're happy to return anytime.
Okay, are you planning on it? You know, was it last year? I think it was last year. They had an open house at Whitaker Middle School up here with the plans. But probably right now, unless the coronavirus magically goes away, I assume you're not planning anything like that, just the online stuff that's.
Yeah, normally we would have an in-person open house kind of paired with the online open house. But we're not doing the in-person events right now, but once those restrictions are lifted and we can do it in a safe way, we're hoping, before we go to construction at the end of next year might be suitable.
If the vaccines work, might.
Yeah, we really value the in-person interactions, so we're looking forward to the day when we can do that again in a safe way.
Right. Well, what I like about it is you can point and say, what's going on here. And
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're getting very creative and engaging with people, but they're just it's hard to replace that in-person interaction.
I understand. Okay. And one last chance for questions. Being none, I want to thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Have a good evening.
Yeah, okay, and feel free to leave if you want.
Okay.
It's getting late. And,
All right, thanks.
and
night.
somebody break in there. Okay.
I just said good night.
Oh, good night. Hey, yeah, again, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
You too, Lily. Okay, the next one is just an update on the COVID Pet Cup, and I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer for that. And I heard it didn't go real well, so I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks for that intro. We unfortunately did not have a great participation rate. I think it just wasn't promoted for a long enough time beforehand. We also had thought we were going to get a large postcard mailing to promote the event, and unfortunately that was not approved by the city to do that. I think it interfered with some timing of other election type mailings, and so ours got vetoed. So along that, we tried our best efforts of promoting it on the neighborhood association, as well as the city of Beaverton social media, as well as their website. And really only got about 5 registrants to do the actual race part of it. So with that being said, I believe the 5 people who did register will win prizes just for participating, and we'll at least have the groundwork laid. I know that Birgit's very passionate about the event and wants to continue it. And so I think we will do that next year. Or I shouldn't say we, because I won't be here, but Birgit will carry the torch and get it promoted and earlier on so we can get better involvement. I think it's also just a kind of a sign of the times that people are hesitant to get out and do things, or just, a little weary. So I'm hoping that we've at least laid the foundation to make it a successful event for next year.
Okay, anyway, thanks a lot, Jen. And if you have any money owing to it or anything from our treasury, let us know. The treasurer's not here, but I was gonna call. I tried to call her, and then I didn't get through. Let's find out.
Yeah, maybe I can have a sidebar conversation with you and the treasurer to talk about that and how we fairly plan the funding for the prizes to those that did participate.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to do that. We can do that at the end. And we do have, what I'd like to do right now, while we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members here, is go ahead and I'll make a motion to take 3 names off the board. Just, they are not there. Okay. So, Pat, I hope you're still here, but I'm going to assume that you are and you're voting yes. Anyway, the motion I'd like to make is that we remove Jennifer Travis Diskin, who's already moved to Tigard, I understand, and Jim McAlpine. Esther's not very good shape. I don't think he's going to make any more meetings. And if he does and wants to come aboard, we can vote him back on. So I'm making the motion to remove them from the board. We need a second. So Jennifer, can you?
Well, if I'm allowed to second, I will second.
Yeah, you're not removed yet. So,
Yeah, I second.
okay. Okay, great. Okay, so I guess I could ask any discussion, but I don't think there is. So all those in favor, just raise your hand. Or if I don't see any motion, I'm going to assume they're voting. Okay. So that gives us 5. That's enough to do that. Then after this, we can get by with just 4. So if one of you drops out, we do the rest of the election. Or maybe I should just go ahead with the election right now because I don't think we're going to get very far. Okay. Let me start at the bottom. You know, as Travis is no longer on BCCI either because he moved out of the area. So, you know, I'm alternate BCCI. We need a BCCI rep. You know, if we, this is a chance, you know, I'd like to bring a little younger blood in, although we don't have too much of that here this week. So is anybody interested in that? Sort of what I figured. Well, how about, I'll just fill in as a BCCI rep. I mean, till we get, if somebody comes along, we'll just do a motion. Travis never let me know, and nobody let me know that he was leaving, or we could have probably tried to get a BCCI rep at the last meeting because our bylaws let us appoint somebody during the year if they leave. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know he notified Miles, but
Yeah, everybody, but I didn't get, I just found out, I think, from you not too long ago, so I didn't know what was going on. I knew he hadn't been at the meetings for a while. Okay, whoops, I don't know. Are we still there?
Yep, we're still here.
Okay. You were viewing Pat's
screen sharing.
I don't know. Well, anyway, let me go on. I didn't get an answer back from Rhonda about being recorder, and we don't actually have an answer if we have to do it, right? So I will. Let me just see here if I got a email from her. Let's just take a second. No, she hasn't. She hasn't replied back. So I'm gonna make this part of a bigger motion, unless we get nominees here, is that we retain Rhonda as recorder, Ann as treasurer, and I haven't talked to Ann either, you know, but I want to keep her on there right now. Ann and I are both signees to the checking account, and we're having a lot of troubles with US Bank. They keep sucking us for a dormant charge and plus a $5 a month service charge. And, you know, we talked about changing it, but with all this coronavirus, we really don't want to go and, you know, have to do all the stuff we have to do. So we're sort of hoping that the coronavirus gets better, and then until then, the NAC's gonna have to live with the charges. And actually last month they didn't charge the dormant charge, and nothing changed. So I don't know. And they have my birth date wrong, so I have a hard time even talking to them on the phone. And the only way you can get online with US Bank is to have a debit card or something, and we didn't want to do that. Although it's getting harder and harder to write checks anymore. So, okay, and we'll leave it there, then we'll go to the vice chair. So I'm making a motion that Ann Franey be treasurer, Rhonda Leo be recorder, and I'll take over the CCI position. Anybody else want to be nominated for that? I realize this isn't very many people, but okay, need a second for those nominate, or I guess you call them nominations. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, and again, all those in favor, just raise their hand. And of course, I'll raise mine. And obviously, we do not have a vice chair because Jennifer is leaving. Although usually the vice chair doesn't have to work very hard, or you know, and I'm getting up there. I'd like to find somebody for chair. I'm pretty sure of the people that are attending I didn't get that last chat.
It's just Cindy Kimball. She's saying she can't unmute to vote and she doesn't have a camera on her computer, so.
Okay, well,
able to vote.
the fact, okay, well, I'm gonna assume she voted yes. I mean, we need to get the,
Maybe by
huh?
chat.
Yeah, we need to get this done because,
Yeah.
so is anybody interested in chair? You know, I'll nominate you. Okay, well then, I guess I'm gonna nominate myself. I mean, what else can I do? We do have a thing in our bylaws that says if we have, and I don't remember the exact number, 2/3 of the board members that are voting can authorize that we go more than 2 years. So that's what that's gonna be part of the vote. And I'm gonna get vice chair. Anybody interested in being vice chair? Yeah, okay. We're gonna leave that open. And, you know, when we get better attendance, see if we can get somebody. Okay, this is an open spot. So all those, so I'm gonna make a motion that I be chair and that we agree to override the term limits. Okay, so I need a second.
I second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, again, raise your hand. Those that I can't see, unless you send us the chat saying you're opposed to it, I'm going to assume you're voting yes. Okay.
Yeah, they're voting on the chat.
Hmm?
Looks
Yeah.
like Cindy voted on the chat.
Okay, so we're fine. Anyway, that settles that. Now let's go back to a couple other little things. Okay, the local land use issues this month, there really aren't any. There's a couple of little minor type 1 things that I didn't even, we didn't really, we don't have any say on them anyway. I'm surprised I got notice on them. You know, there's some insignificant I didn't worry about. One of them is like the cell tower I think I talked about last time. They had included a PGE transformer as part of the plans and it really wasn't. Something like that. And I do want to give a chance, although I don't see any visitors here, any neighborhood concerns or visitor comments? Hearing nothing there. Let me do the old business first. I'm not going to get into Greenway NAC potential projects, although Lanny might tell us how the shredding event went. Has that happened yet? I'm not sure of the date.
It has, and it went really well.
Did they fill up the truck?
Yeah, and everything went very smoothly, and so I can definitely see this being an event other NACs might want to take on.
Yeah, I did get their postcard. So the postcard dipped down into part of our NAC. Of course, I knew that it was supposed to be for their NAC, but.
And you all know that we get the lowest postage rate by doing carrier routes, so it's not a perfect science. So yeah, so unfortunately, sometimes that happens. We do our best, but yeah. But yeah, no, it was a huge success. We'll hear more details at BCCI's December meeting, but it definitely went very smoothly. Everything was done with the COVID guidelines. I think one of the things you do get worried about with an event like this, when you haven't had that service available to the public, you worry about other people hearing about it and the lines getting really long. And luckily, we were able to keep that contained to the neighborhood area. So that was a success.
Yeah. Do you know how many people they used to run the project? Or if not, let's bring it to the December meeting.
Yeah.
I need to analyze all that. I was thinking it might be a good project for our NAC though, just to get people out, and it's a service that I suspect it's going to be quite a while till the coronavirus is at a point where people feel comfortable doing it. So,
and I think to your point that you said earlier about people, they collected canned food for the food pantries and whatnot, and that was a huge success as well. So much canned food was donated.
Right. And maybe if we can't, that's why I was interested in the people, but maybe we can go to South Beaverton and get a joint thing going or something like that. I was curious, what kind of, or where did they use for an area for the truck and the people lining up? Because the schools have pretty much said we can't use their grounds. So.
Yeah. I don't have those details in front of me. So I think maybe what we should do is get all those details, and you'll have a good report out for next month or your next board meeting.
Right. I was just,
Yeah.
It's something I'm looking at, maybe a little better at, well, the weather's bad right now, but maybe it's better. And obviously with the few people we have now, it'd be hard to do, but it'd be nice to have some kind of event. So that was good.
And I think the great part was that they, hired a company, so that you had a company that was doing the shredding. So that took a lot of the pressure off of not having to have to carry out that part of the event, because it was all outsourced. And so you only needed, minimal, volunteer support for various roles. And again, we'll have to get more details from their debrief of what worked and how they organized it. But from just the quick summary I got from the NAC and from Miles, it was a home run.
Okay. Well, you said you're going to have information at the BCCI meeting.
Yeah, it'll be at the December meeting, but in terms of, since you guys don't meet till February, it'll be a little bit longer for you guys, the rest of the board members, to hear.
Also, you can change my yellow name thing to was it blue or whatever it is, because I will be the actual official person. I guess I've been the official person at BCCI for the last 3 months. I just didn't know that. Okay. So any more, we're pretty much out of items on the thing. Anything that anybody wants to bring up to the meeting? I think we've touched everything. Okay, well, other than the police didn't show up either, that one sort of bothers me. There's a lot of things going on in the police department right now. And the other thing I was curious about, and maybe Lanny can answer this, does the police have a video that shows the inside of the new police station and points it out and that kind of thing? So I thought that'd be something really interesting to run at the meeting. I know some of us got invited to some early tours of it, and I did too, but I couldn't do it at the time. So
well, and I know that if the officer came to tonight's meeting, he would have invited you to a showing when the COVID restrictions are lifted. So you'll be invited to a special tour.
Oh, okay.
So just know that that's coming when things get a little bit better. But that's a great idea about the video. I don't know if there is a video.
That's what I was wondering, but I thought it'd be something neat to
Yeah.
show at the NAC meetings, and not that hard to do because they've given a tour to some of the, I know that some people have gone to it, and obviously if they could do it there, they could do the same thing, only taking pictures, right? And I think some people would be interested.
Tim, I think it was mentioned in the newsletter that just came out that they were working on doing a virtual tour in lieu of the big celebration because they couldn't do it. So I think they are working on it.
Okay, great. Okay, anything else? Maybe Jennifer and I can stay on just a little bit. We need 5-10 minutes to.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I've really enjoyed my time on the board and in the NAC, and wish you all well. And like I said, I'll keep encouraging everyone I know in the neighborhood to try to get involved.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd stay a little longer, and I was going to give you the opportunity to be chair. And
well,
I
this
think
year
you're somewhat
is definitely
committed to
unpredictable for sure. I wasn't anticipating moving, but 2020.
things happen.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, well, anyway, the meeting is adjourned.
Oh, there was one question from Cindy about who did the shredding event. It was Highland NAC, not the police.
You know, and it was strictly for their NAC. You know, nobody outside of their NAC. Well, you could sneak in, but you know, if I tried to do that, even though I got a notice of it, they'd know I was from Greenway, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't work.
So Jim, Wendy, and I just was going to say, if somebody had shredding that they were desperate for and can't wait for the next one, if they have a garden, the shredding stuff, we shred our stuff and put it in our compost. It takes the place of the brown matter or the leaves, the dark leaves, and I just mix it with vegetated stuff, and then nothing ever goes off the property. It's all in the compost, so it works.
I love that. That's great. And you don't have to wait in line.
That's right. You don't have to wait in line. And it's amazing how fast that stuff breaks down. I was pretty amazed. But I did old tax records and all kind of stuff, so it was great.
Hopefully no one was digging in your backyard.
That's true.
Yeah.
I should probably have been doing more myself, but
We do have one new person here, Dawn Yoshizumi.
Yes, hi.
Hi. Are you a visitor? I don't remember. Are you when it comes to the NAC?
I'm in the NAC. I live a couple streets away from you, I think.
Oh, okay. You're not on the board then, right?
No.
This is
Does
your
she want to be
opportunity.
vice chair?
Huh?
Does she want to be vice chair?
Yeah, Dawn had no idea what she was walking into.
No, I've attended a few meetings in person. I was hoping that the police and the fire departments were gonna give an update.
Yeah, the fire departments aren't coming to meetings now, but they have a video, but it gets sent out. I thought it got sent out to the NAC mailing list. I don't know. I keep getting, I'm not sure, as long as Annie's here, I'm not sure how that video is being handled. It's really a nice video, but that's all they're doing. They just make one video, it goes to all the NACs and probably
Okay,
other CPOs, etc.
I haven't seen it. Okay, thank you.
Don, if there's any particular questions you wanted the police department to answer, I'm happy to pass that on to them and have them reach out to you.
I was just curious if there was an uptick in crime given what's been going on with so many people having financial difficulty. But it was more curiosity. There wasn't a specific thing that I was overly concerned about. I just, on next door, I've seen a lot of people report car break-ins.
Okay.
I don't know if it's possible, but you know, they have a crime statistics thing that really available on the internet, but what chance of maybe getting them to answer that question and send it to the NAC and also send a PDF version of the crime statistics and any
we'll
explanation they want to give. I mean, that's what they'd do if they were here and they didn't make it, but you know, I'd still like, I think that's a valuable part of the NAC meetings is having the police and the fire here. I can understand the fire department not wanting to do it.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's something I'll definitely ask tomorrow and get that so that's emailed out to everyone. Don, are you on the NAC email list?
Yeah, that's how I got the link for the meeting.
Perfect. Okay, great. So you'll receive that then.
Yeah. I was curious, is there any word on the 125th extension? I haven't heard a peep and I like it that way, but any updates there?
On the what extension?
125th?
Oh, right now it's pretty dead. So,
Okay.
I mean, there's not even hardly enough money to do sidewalks.
I was kind of figuring, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also there's a lot more urgent needs out around Cooper Mountain and Shoals Ferry Road. Shoals Ferry and Murray is bad now, and it's going to get just way worse as the developments in not only Cooper Mountain, but on the other side, Tiger's just going wild. I guess they're relying on us to fix all the roads. I don't know. So yeah, at least it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime, which isn't saying a whole lot, but you know, but that's where it stands right now. It's
Okay.
way down on the list.
Thanks.
And fortunately, Romana, you know, nobody's here that's got different thoughts on it, but that's the way it looks. there's a big thread on it on Nextdoor. It got up to 150, 200 comments or something like that. And I just decided to stay out of it. So it eventually resolved itself. Okay, anything else?
Nope, thank you so much for asking.
Okay. Yeah, and you're on our list, right? You did well. You didn't take up my offer to get on the board. You can do that.
No, I'm on another board and I work a little more than full time, so I should probably not do that.
Well, that's fine. We like to have people in the audience. Besides just the board members. Matter of fact, usually we have about 15 people. We're a little short tonight. So anyway, anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Okay. The meeting's adjourned then. Second
Okay.
time.
Good night.
Jennifer and I are going to talk just a minute.
Okay,
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Lonnie. Good
Happy
luck, Jennifer.
Thanksgiving.
Bye,
Right.
Kathy.
Yeah,
So
bye.
much.
Everyone.
Wow,
I'll have to-
happy Thanksgiving.